In 2014, the humanity has destroyed the planet's atmosphere, leading to global warming. Scientists create an artificial cooling substance and release it into the atmosphere to fix this. It reduces the heat. However, it also brings up a new ice age on Earth. Luckily, a brilliant scientist named Wilford has developed a train that can travel non-stop around the globe and has an endless engine. The train is now home to the last few people on the planet, and the people who go outside instantly die from freezing. Sadly, there is a hierarchy among such a small group of people. The upper classes live in the front carts of the train, the economy class in the back, and the poor people in the tail section. 17 years later, the food that the guards bring to the poor people consists of some nasty protein blocks. Everyone must sit down to receive it, but Curtis refuses to sit and a guard threatens to shoot him. Curtis tells his friend Edgar that he counted the doors because he is planning to sneak through the train. The guard then asks if anyone from the group can play the violin, and an old couple volunteers, saying that they were members of the Boston Symphony Orchestra. Since they only need one musician, the guard tries to take Gerald alone, but Gerald doesn't want to leave without his wife. The guard then beats his wife, breaking her hand and then dragging Gerald away. Later, Curtis goes to Tanya and her son Timmy, asking to exchange protein blocks. As Curtis cuts open his new block, he finds a small capsule with a message inside, which he takes to Gilliam, an old guy with one arm, seated next to a Wilford logo on the wall. The message says Nam, which is the name of a security guard from the prison section. Curtis wants to find him so he can help everyone escape this slavery, so Gilliam helps him analyze the options they have. Later, when everyone is sleeping, a group of guards shows up with Claude, Wilford's assistant, and starts measuring every child with a tape. Claude suddenly approaches Tanya, moves her skirt, and sees Timmy hiding there. Timmy tries to run as his mom screams. The guards take Timmy and beat his mother to shut her up. After some more measuring, Claude takes Timmy and Andrew's son, Andy, with them. Andrew throws a shoe and yells at Claude. The guards catch him immediately. Later, young Franco and old Franco put a clock around Andrew's neck and put his arm through a hole in the wall. Andrew screams in pain as he feels below freezing temperature. Then, Minister Mason shows up and gives a long speech, scolding the passengers for their misbehavior. She places the thrown shoe on Andrew's head and says everyone on the train must follow the rules. Mason then calls Wilford to ask him to deliver a speech too, but he doesn't answer. Franco then takes out Andrew's arm, which is totally frozen, and smashes it with a big hammer, shattering the arm into pieces. Over the next few days, the poor people work hard to assemble things to create a tool that will help them escape the train. Curtis also gets some chronol, which are highly flammable blocks of industrial material that drug is used to get high. He remembers that Masons called the guards' weapons useless guns, which could mean that they ran out of bullets in the previous revolt. As everyone works, the group's artist sketches all the significant moments and gives Tanya and Andrew portraits of their children. One day, the alarm goes off and everyone rushes to line up in front of the guards. Their device is ready, so to distract the guards, they start protesting against protein blocks. A guard then catches an old man and threatens to shoot him. Curtis rushes forward and places the gun on his own head. The guard pulls the trigger, but nothing happens. Edgar shouts that there are no bullets in the guns, and chaos breaks out. The device turns out to be a giant train of pipes on wheels. The group pushes through the next set of carts while Curtis rides on top. A massive fight ensues between the guards and the poor people, but since guards have no guns, the rebels win easily. Suddenly, a big guard tries to stop their way, but Gray jumps on top of him, instantly killing him and taking his keys. After that, the rebels reach the prison cart, where prison cells are actually chambers in the wall. They then release the security expert, Nam. Apparently, he is dizzy due to an overdose. Curtis grabs a translation device and says that he needs his help in going through the doors of the next few carts, and he will get chronol in return. Just then, Nam pulls out a cigarette, which surprises everyone, as cigarettes haven't been available for the past 10 years. A boy named Chan silently tries to steal Nam's matches. After some thinking, Nam throws the cigarette and everyone fights over it. Nam also joins the fight and Curtis pulls him out. Nam then reveals that he stole the keys and opens a different chamber containing his daughter Yona, who's also a druggie like Chan. Nam agrees to help only if he gets chronol for both of them after each door. Curtis accepts the deal and Nam starts working on the door's wires. Yona says there's nobody on the other side and Nam opens the door. The group enters the cart and someone opens the windows and everyone is shocked to see the sunlight again after almost 2 decades. The world outside is covered in snow and every city is completely frozen. Nam starts working on the next door, and when the next door opens, the group is shocked to see Paul seeing. Paul was a former member of the group. They then see the protein blocks. It turns out that Paul had been making these shitty blocks alone. That's why he has gone mad. Curtis looks inside the machine. This scares the shit out of him, cause the blocks they've been eating all these years are made from cockroaches. He confronts Paul and suddenly, he sees another capsule. He asks Paul about it, but he doesn't know who sends it, he just puts it in the food. When Gilliam opens it, he finds the word water, and Paul tells them the water supply is a few carts up. If they control the water, then they can negotiate with them. While Nam tries to open the next door, Yona tells Curtis that she was born on the train. Curtis came from the outside, but he doesn't remember anything before the train. Curtis asks her if she can see through walls, and she yells, Unfortunately, it's too late. The door opens and the room is full of masked men armed with axes. They cut open a fish to scare them, but the rebels rush forward and start a fight. Both sides start killing each other mercilessly and very quickly start losing people, splashing blood all over the cart. Edgar and Curtis move through the crowd, killing every masked man who gets in their way. They move through the crowd, but Curtis unexpectedly slips over the fish. A man tries to kill him, but Edgar jumps on the man to kill him. In front of the cart, there are a few guards and several more masked men. They announce that they are about to cross a bridge. The men then start to count down, and they shout. Unfortunately, the bridge has multiple layers of ice on it since last year. When the train crosses the bridge, it starts shaking like crazy, and everyone falls to the ground, except for Yona and Nam, who look out the window and see what's happening on the cliffs below. Finally, a guard shouts that they have crossed the bridge. Everyone gets up to fight again, but Mason and the Francos enter the cart and stop them. She scolds them for not being grateful for the food and shelter Wilford has been providing for them all these years and says that 74% of them will be killed. Curtis becomes angry and throws an axe towards her, but it gets blocked. Mason then holds up binoculars, and her men wear special masks. Yona then tells Curtis that a long tunnel is coming. When the train enters the tunnel, everything turns dark, but the guards can still see them due to their special masks. One by one, the guards start killing the rebels, while Mason enjoys the scene. The rebels continue to die, but Curtis remembers something and shouts for Chan to start a fire. Chan uses the matches he stole and lights a fire. Soon, he and Andrew lead a few rebels into the dark cart, holding lots of torches, and with the help of the fire, the rebels overpower the guards again. Gray catches an officer and threatens Mason to kill him if they doesn't surrender. Mason doesn't give a shit about a low-ranked employee, so Gray kills him and continues fighting. He throws a knife and stabs Mason in the leg. Curtis then rushes to Mason, but finds that young Franco has caught Edgar. Curtis doesn't know what to do, but then he decides to get Mason to save everyone's life, while Franco kills Edgar. As soon as Curtis grabs Mason, she orders everyone to stop fighting. Young Franco tries to kill Curtis, but Yona sneaks in, impaling him with a metal rod. As the group captures old Franco, they go into the next cart, which is running water, so they use it to wash off the blood. Tanya and Andrew torture Mason to make her talk, but she only knows that the kids are taken to Wilford. Now it's Curtis' turn to threaten her. He says he will cut off the water supply, but Mason laughs, saying that the train breaks the snow and turns it into usable water. When Curtis is about to kill her, she says that she knows the safe path. The group decides to rest that night, but Gilliam and Curtis stay up late talking about what to do next. Gilliam is upset that a lot of people have already died, so Curtis decides to go alone, while Gilliam watches over the group. After seeing Curtis' arm scar, Gilliam agrees. The next morning, Curtis leaves with his team, with handcuffed Mason at the front. The first cart they enter is a greenhouse that grows fruits and vegetables for the elites. Nam gives some dirt to Yona. She is amazed by the worms as she's seen them for the first time. The next cart is a huge aquarium, and Mason offers sushi to the group. On this train, fish are only consumed twice a year to maintain the balance of the ecological system. Mason tries to eat some sushi too, but Curtis stops her and makes her eat the same protein bar. After the butcher cart, they enter a classroom full of children. Tanya and Andrew show them the drawings of their children and ask about them. A boy says that they were taken to the front of the train. The teacher plays a propaganda video, which teaches the kids that Wilford is their merciful savior. The kids love it so much that they start cheering for their leader. The teacher then plays an instrument and sings a song, telling the kids that if the train ever stops, they will freeze and die. Meanwhile, they pass by a spot where 7 people tried to escape 15 years ago and are now frozen statues in the snow. Suddenly, a man enters, pushing a cart full of boiled eggs for the new year. The kids and the rebels take the eggs, while Gerald shows up to play the violin. Tanya realizes how much Gerald has changed since he got this job. Curtis finds a capsule in an egg with a message that says, blood. When the cart man gets to another cart, he and the teacher take out guns from the pile of eggs and start shooting. While everyone hides, the teacher kills Andrew, but then Gray stabs her with a knife. Mason tries to shoot Curtis, but he kicks the gun, and then the TV shows that the Cartman has killed all the rebels, and finally they shoot Gilliam as well. Angry Curtis takes the gun and shoots Mason. The group keeps going, and in the next few carts, they see the elites using all the privileges like doctors, tailors, and a beauty salon. While the group crosses the dining room, Franco sees the rebels moving through the train and quickly fires at them, and Curtis also shoots back. They miss all the shots and run out of bullets. Nam then sees a snowflake through the bullet hole. Franco and Curtis then shoot each other again, but they decide to keep going through the train. The group passes through a spa and enters a sauna. They hide there in the stalls until Franco and two guards find them. Franco opens a stall and kills a high-class passenger. After that, he kills the guard who stops him. Gray sneaks from behind to kill the other guard and stabs Franco in the shoulder. While the two men are fighting, Curtis shows up to shoot Franco, but he doesn't want to hurt Gray. When Franco knocks Gray down, Curtis finally shoots, but Franco fires back and hits Curtis' arm. Tanya also tries to hit Franco, but he quickly shoots her. Then Curtis and Franco start a hand-to-hand fight, and after a long fight, Franco knocks Curtis down. He then tries to stab him, but Gray stops him. This time, Franco quickly gains the upper hand and kills him by stabbing him in the chest. Franco goes to another stall and finds Nam hidden behind a woman. They start fighting, and he pushes Franco down and starts beating him. Yona shows up with a knife in her hand, but Nam forces her to drop the knife, as he doesn't want her to kill Franco. Curtis wakes up and stabs Franco in the side with the knife. Curtis then rushes to see Tanya, who requests to see Timmy's drawing one final time, and she dies. The group keeps going, and they pass through a cart where a loud party is going on, with lots of wine and vodka. They then enter a cart full of druggies on the floor. Nam and Yona take the opportunity to steal some frozen alcohol. They then pass through a computer cart, and after crossing a bridge, they finally reach Wilford's vault door. Yona goes unconscious after drinking too much. Curtis orders Nam to open the door, but he asks for more Kronol, and Curtis starts banging on the door. Nam calms him down and gives him the last cigarette on Earth. Curtis enjoys the cigarette while sharing his story. During the first days on the train, the poor people were forced to eat the weak people, and babies tasted the best. Curtis killed a mother and nearly killed baby Edgar too, but Gilliam stepped in and offered his arm instead. Soon everyone started copying him. Curtis has a scar on his arm because he tried but couldn't do it. A few days later, the guards started coming with the protein blocks. Nam reveals that since it is highly flammable, he has been storing Kronol and has managed to make a bomb to blast up the door outside. Over the past decade, Nam looked outside every new year, seeing signs of ice melting. He believes they could escape and survive. Suddenly, the door opens, and Claude comes out and shoots Nam. She takes the Kronol bomb, then tells Curtis that Wilford has invited him for dinner. Curtis finally goes inside and meets Wilford. Wilford says Curtis is the first to walk the entire train because he has never been to the back. Wilford then talks about the importance of ecological balance, but since natural selection would have taken too long, he made a plan years ago. It turns out that he and Gilliam were working together all along, creating fake revolutions to lower the population. Curtis should have been killed a few carts back, but he got lucky. So to fix the balance, Wilford orders the Eggman to kill every poor person in the back, leaving only 18 to celebrate their 18th year. Curtis realizes that the phone he's sitting next to is actually Gilliam's personal phone. Meanwhile, Franco wakes up in the sauna and takes out the knife. Yona and Nam also wake up outside Wilford's vault, and they see one of the partygoers coming to attack. Nam quickly stops him and pushes him into the train's mechanism to kill him, but more angry partygoers are coming. Nam tells Yona to open the door while he stops them. Back to Wilford, he takes Curtis into the engine so that he can have a moment alone. With overwhelming emotions, he falls to his knees and starts crying. Wilford brings him the last capsule with the message, "Train." Wilford wants him to take on his role as leader, and Gilliam wants it too. Outside, Franco walks through the crowd, and at the same time, Yona opens the door. Claude steps out to look into it, but Yona shoots her and takes her gun, then starts shooting Franco until she runs out of bullets. Since Franco is alive, Nam tells Yona to get the matches from Curtis and the Kronol from Claude. Yona rushes inside and holds her hand out, but Curtis is under Wilford's manipulation and pushes her away. She desperately lifts a floor tile with a fork to see Timmy starting the engine. Since they ran out of parts, Wilford now uses kids as replacements. Furious, Curtis jumps on Wilford to kill him. He then barely reaches under the tile to stop the engine cogs and hands Yona the matches. While Yona runs out, Andy comes out of a chamber and goes to the engine to restart it. In seconds, Nam kills Franco. Yona lights up the Kronol, and Curtis overcomes the pain and tries to stop the engine once again so that Timmy can get out. As they all rush to hug, the Kronol explodes, blowing up the door and creating a massive snow snowstorm that crashes onto the train. One by one, the carts fall off the tracks until the front ends up stuck in the snow and the train finally stops. Later, Timmy and Yona wake up in the cart, surrounded by bodies and flames. They wear the stolen furs and step outside. They see a polar bear and realize that they can survive the ice age, and the movie ends. Subscribe to watch more movie recaps like this. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Goodbye.